Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about nights 3 and 4 of the G1 Climax, and nights 1 and 2 were just okay, but it really helped me get familiar with everybody. It really helped me get adapted to the New Japan style, the New Japan crowds, and stuff like that. And I think this was the first night in night 3 that really I could analyze for the matches itself, and I think my ratings are very accurate for how I think they are. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it, and we're gonna start off with Chase Owens. Okay, for real, we're gonna start off with Kaito Kiyomiya versus Chase Owens, and I thought this match was just bang on average. It was pretty much the same thing that Chase Owens gave us the night before, and it was just pretty boring. I like Kaito. I think he was good in his last match. I think he was good here. He showed his stuff. Like, I think he's gonna put on. I think there's gonna be like one or two matches where he's gonna put on a real banger. But this was just classic Chase Owens. He was just bland, boring to me, and just kind of tuned everything out for the entire match. He was good at the start. Like, he had a little bit more flavor, and then it just trailed off into doing his standard shit. So yeah, it's kind of just match after match I'm seeing why people were saying he shouldn't be in this over some other guys, and I'm already going to agree, and I think it's only going to get bigger. I think I'm only going to agree more. So yeah, this match was not very good. And it wasn't Kaito's fault, but it wasn't very good. So next up, we have Kenta versus Great Khan, and I thought this match was really slow, like in a bad way. The first match that Kenta had, it was also slow, but I think it worked a little bit better. I think he was doing a better job of working over the leg of Tungaloa. But yeah, this was just like kind of shit. It was just super slow, super bland. I can't stand the kind of pin that he get for the finish, where they steal a pin, but then he just kind of kicks his legs up in the air to like, here you go, have my legs, pin me now, please. It capped off a pretty bad match. I mean, it was what it was, but it was just way too slow and too uninteresting for me to get into. So next up, we have Gabe Kidd versus Hikuleo, and the start of this match was really fire. I love Gabe Kidd beatdowns, I think. I've seen two of them, and I loved them both. That man really hates chairs that are set up, and he really hates when fans sit in them. So if you're ever sitting in a chair and Gabe Kidd is coming around to start a match, get your ass up, because he's going to throw somebody through them. But yeah, this was a pretty solid hard hitter. They were hitting, boom slap, Gabe Kidd shit. Hikuleo was the very classic big man. I thought he was fine. He's always going to be fine, I think. And I think Gabe Kidd versus Narita is going to be really good. That's the match I'm really looking forward to coming soon. I think Gabe Kidd can deliver a real banger with that one, but I guess we're going to find out. But as it goes for this match, it was fine. Match number 4, we have Taichi versus Tungaloa, and I thought this match was just similar to the Kenta match. I thought it was slow. It was pretty stale. The end was picking up a lot because I think Taichi was carrying it a good bit. But yeah, this match was just slow, bland. It was a rough first 4 matches tonight, but yeah, it was whatever, At this point, I was so tuned out. I was like, please, I need something quick, and thank God we got something quick with the next match. And here it goes, it's picking up. Ren Narita versus Yoto Tsuji, and this match was really fire. I'm really loving these Three Musketeers battles, just those real prove-it matches, and I love it because, like, they just know how to do it. The crowd was alive for this. They finally woke up. I mean, I don't blame them for sleeping through the first floor, but they finally woke up. They really got them into this one. They were actually chanting. The start of this match, though, was just alright. I think it took a little bit for them to settle in and get used to each other and stuff like that. But I think the real turning point was that big Yoda dive where he just fucking hung himself on the barricade. That was fucking wild. I thought he was broken, that kind of thing. But I love to see dudes putting their shit on the line like that. I think that's awesome. It was sick. It got the crowd into it. This is where it really picked up. I think this moment was where night 1 really started. Yeah, I really fucked with this match. This match was a hard hitter. There's also a really good sell from Narita where after Yoda had him the full crab for so long, he went for the big power up like, rah, and then his back just seized up on him. And if you're gonna keep watching this channel, I'm gonna love a good sell, and that was an amazing sell. Yeah, this was a really good match. It took them a little bit to get into it, so I think the rating isn't going to be as high as some people will give it because it really took a second for me. But once it was clicking, it was clicking. And I'm just really excited to see more of these Three Musketeer match because these guys are really good and I'm really getting into all their stuff. Match of the night, Ospreay versus Yoshihashi. And honestly, I think I'm going to give this one a higher rating than most people, but I fucking love this match. These guys were fucking slapping the shit out of each other. Like, it felt like every time one of them did a chop, it felt like one of their hearts were gonna stop. They were gonna need CPR in the ring, that kind of shit. They were hitting so fucking hard. Will was busted in the mouth because he says, whoa, Will was busted open in the mouth because I guess he got hit real hard. But yeah, this match was a fucking banger. Ospreay was selling really well. You know, I literally just said how much I love great selling, and Ospreay was killing it. He everything that Yoshihashi hit on him, like he just sold it like it was something else. Like they did a destroyer and he sold it so well. He did a pile driver. He did a headstand. It was amazing. It was really good. This was a fucking certified banger. Yoshihashi and the fucking Billy Goat just going at it with each other, and yeah, this match was incredible. Easily match of the night. Could be up there for me personally as a contender for match of the tournament. I mean, so far I think it would be in the running, but we're gonna see how that lays out. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna rate this match higher than some people because I just really loved it. I love this exchange. Incredible stuff. This next match was certainly a match that happened for the night. I'll start off by just saying that the kids and the ladies love Shota. He is an over babyface. They were going wild. He showed his star presence, I think, in the entrance especially, but just during this match, he showed that he has it, and I really like seeing that from these young guys. But yeah, this match was just so fine. It was boring. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just so like clean. Like everything was worked really well. I thought it was done well. Their moves and the counters and their selling, everything was on point and stuff like that. But it just didn't make me feel anything. And so far this tournament, Sonata and like everything that I've seen him in actually, Sonata just hasn't made me feel anything. Like when he comes out, he just doesn't give off much of that aura. And I don't know. I think at the end of this tournament, I don't know if he hasn't proved anyone wrong yet. And I feel like this is a great opportunity to really show out here. I think it was a really good chance for him to show out against a young guy and for him to prove everybody that he's got it and this is his championship shit. He's on his run. But yeah, it wasn't that good to me. I mean, it was fine. That's the thing though. It was just so clean. You can't help but like rate it pretty fairly. But overall, it just didn't give me any good vibes. The vibes weren't there for this one, and I really hope that Sonata proves me wrong. But you're going after Will and Yoshi, and you're gonna put on something like this with no vibes. It's just not gonna work for me. This match was fine in the most boring way possible, if that makes any sense. And I feel bad because I really like Shota, and I want to like Sonata, but I got to see more out of him, and I think we're most certainly going to see more out of Shota that I'm really excited for. So, fine, whatever. Regular Sonata match. Main event match, we're going to have Kazuchika Okada versus El Phantasmo, and I thought this match was really good. ELP is like really over, at least with me. He's super pops me. I've only ever seen him as a babyface. I know he's worked heel before, but I think he just really works in this role. He easily gets people behind him. He's a likable guy. He was doing the funny head shake at the beginning of the match. He does he did a nipple twist and shit like that. I mean, he's so funny in the ring. He was chanting for the city and he was chanting Okada, which Okada did not like. You could tell by his face. He was not happy about that. He was not amused. This is not the happy Okada here. But yeah, ELP was really good this match. I thought he definitely stepped up to the plate. Okada was Okada. He was very good here, but ELP definitely stepped up in this role. I think he's got a new fan with me for sure. I really enjoyed all his stuff when he was at AEW and in the first night of this, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how he goes through this. I also want to mention too the CR2 kick out at the end. I mean, Okada kicked out at legit the last second. That was one of the craziest kickouts I've ever seen, and it was just in a random G1 match. That's why I'm tuning in. But yeah, this match was really good. Easily the best main out of any of the nights so far. Yeah, ELP's getting over with me. I'm becoming a big fan of his, and I'm excited to see how he goes in this tournament. But yeah, great match to end off the night. Really, I think left everyone home happy. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for night 3 of the G1. We got, of course, we have the ratings right over here. The real matches anyone should go watch is the last four. You can skip the first four, to be honest. The last four were really good, though. I thought they're all worthwhile watches, especially the Will Ospreay one. And I know 4.5 feels like a lot, but I really think it was that good. I really thought they were working so well together. So yeah, with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into night four. So guys, we're back. It's a new day, and we're here to talk about G1 night four. We're gonna start off with Zack Sabre Jr. versus Toriano, and this was just a silly little opener, just a silly little thing. I'm still kind of okay with Toriano matches. I still think they're pretty. I don't know. They're losing their flavor very quickly for me in the second match. Um, Zach kind of tricked Yano by coming out with a young lion and then putting him in a headlock, so he had time to tie up the turnbuckles so that Toriano could mess with them, and I thought that was a cool spot. Toriano then tied up Zack Sabre Jr.'s legs, but it took forever, so it looked so awkward. It also, they had to count really slow because Zach couldn't jump to the ring. I don't know if that was intentional or if he just kept falling or something like that, but yeah, I mean, it's still kind of entertaining as a new fan of New Japan seeing Yano for the first time, but it's just the second match and it's losing its flavor, so it wasn't very good for me. But yeah, I see why people get annoyed with this shtick pretty easily. This match was fine, I guess. So next up, we have David Finlay versus Mikey Nichols. This is a very solid match. Both guys working very well. I've only ever seen the David Finlay stuff online where people are kind of questioning why he's the leader of Bullet Club, so I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about him, but in my two matches so far, I'm actually relatively a fan of his. I like his work. It's very smooth. I like his War Dogs faction of Bullet Club. I think he's a pretty cool character, and I think he's been pretty solid in the G1 so far, and I'm pretty excited to see him in more high profile matches. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is a very solid match. Nothing much to say about it, to be honest. So match number 3, we have Jeff Cobb versus Alex Coughlin. Yeah, I figured out how to say it this time. But yeah, I really like this match as well. Coughlin was throwing dudes at Cobb and just decided midway through the match that he was gonna overhead press him, which I think didn't get as much shine as it should. But that's really fucking difficult. But I'm really becoming a fan of Coughlin. I think he's got a good look. I think he's got a good style. I like him and Gabe Kidd's I'm gonna fuck you up because I'm angry. That whole thing. I like the promo that he did before the G1. Yeah, and I'm clearly becoming a fan of his. I like his work. The nickname Deadeye Dreadnought is also fucking beast, and every time I see it, I'm like, damn, that shit's hard as fuck. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that as well. Cobb was fine. He's still not hitting that next level for me, but I'm seeing flashes from him, and I really hope that as we go on, I see more and more of that because he's clearly someone that New Japan thinks highly of, and I see the vision with him. I just hasn't really clicked for me so far in any of his matches, but it's only been 2, so plenty of G1 left to go. Yeah, I think coming away from this, I'm really excited for Coughlin and Zack Sabre. I think that match is going to be an absolute banger. So yeah, this is a very solid match as well. Nothing crazy. Some crazy spots, but nothing too crazy. So match number 4, we have Evil versus Eddie Kingston. Yeah, just seeing Eddie Kingston's clear love for Japan and for the G1 and seeing how much effort he's putting into all these matches, he's legitimately given it his all in these last 2, and I can only imagine that's going to continue. I think more people are going to see why he's so good, and I think more people are going to really connect with him. I think the Japanese fans have already started to connect with him. They were chanting his name and stuff like that. Yeah, but this match was something else, and it was something else not because the match was necessarily bad, except I literally cannot stand the evil interference shit. I think it's so fucking boring. I hate it in every wrestling promotion, but I hate it when that's your whole gimmick is that you cheat and shit, and it's not even good cheating, it's shit cheating. But yeah, the most annoying part to me was they let Evil go over Eddie Kingston, which is a goddamn travesty. Eddie Kingston shouldn't have lost yet. I think it should have saved it for a big opponent for him to just give it his all, but it not be enough. That shouldn't be this. He shouldn't give that to Evil, you know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, this match was pretty good. I can't stand that they let Evil win again. And yeah, honestly, if we're being real, it was a Mad King carry job, but it is what it is. The match was fine, and I hope Eddie wins more and never loses to Evil again ever in his life. Next up, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shane Haste, and I thought this match was pretty good. AEW just must have been a wake-up call for Hiroshi because he's been working really well so far in these first two matches. He's clearly like changed up his style a little bit just to kind of suit him a little more, and I really like that from him. I think that's very much needed. He was outclassed, he was outperformed on AEW TV, and just as a new fan of his, it was pretty like it was just like, damn, that guy's slow as hell, and stuff like that. But it remains to be seen how his body's going to keep up throughout the rest of the G1, but we can't really predict any of that, so we're just going to see how it goes throughout the tournament. But yeah, this is a pretty solid match. Alright, next up we have match of the night, maybe even match of the tournament. We have Henare versus Shingo Takagi, and this match was insanely good. The shots were so crisp, the countering was so on point every time. They were shoot headbutting each other, and that always just looks so fucking scary. Even if it wasn't shoot, like even if it was like, a little fucky, it still just looks so scary to bash your head into another dude's skull. But yeah, this was very like top tier. I think Henare is proving to everybody that he's a legit guy, especially like with the new look and stuff. It really just makes him stand out. His new mannerisms and stuff like that, from what I can tell, are just insanely good for his character. In this match, he actually toned down the like taunt, and I think that works so much better for him. And yeah, I'm really excited to see him versus Eddie coming up soon, because I think Henare has like been on such a run so far. I think you can make cases for Henare and Shingo throughout the first 4 nights to be the just tip top performers of the tournament so far. And yeah, this was really, really good. Another thing I want to mention is kind of just the trail on to the Shingo Takagi thing. I looked up during this match how old he was, because I was just curious. Like, he was moving relatively quickly. He was on it. The guy's 41. He doesn't move or feel like he's 41. That's crazy to me. I would have never thought that before this going in. He's the same age as Tetsuya Naito, and I don't know how he is, because they might look kind of similar like in age, but they don't wrestle like that at all. And I really just love his style. I think it works so well. And as this match, I want to say another thing too. As this match kept going, they were selling that they were getting beat up so bad that when they hit their big finisher, they couldn't even pin them. And I thought that was so good. I love that. It just puts so much more emphasis on every single pinfall. It puts so much emphasis on when they're actually going to get it in, because when they actually pin each other after one of those big moves, that's when it's going to win. And it really just pulled me into this match so much. Yeah, these guys are tip-top tier, like I said, and I'm really excited for the rest of their runs going through, because they've been excellent so far. Speaking of Tetsuya Naito, we have him versus Hiroki Goto, and I thought this match was really good as well. Very solid. This is the night of solid matches. I felt like these two guys just had a really good connection, and the first match with Jeff Cobb, I kind of thought that Naito was going to be like, oh, he's one of the slower, older guys, but he's kind of similar to Shingo, where I think he still moves relatively well. He doesn't move as well as Shingo, I think, for his age, but he still moves relatively well when he really wants to. And yeah, this was definitely a really good match. Also, Naito was getting the loudest crowd reactions I think I've heard throughout all 4 of the nights. They were so loud for him, and that really like makes this match feel so much bigger than I think it might have been without that. So yeah, this was a really, really solid match. And I want to point out someone specifically too. There was like this woman in the crowd that just kept screaming out Naito over and over again all throughout the match. And every time I would notice it, I would like giggle to myself, because it happens so frequently. But yeah, he is so over. This match, they were working pretty well. They were connected. They were definitely on it. Very solid match. Just another one of those solid matches tonight. Speaking of very solid matches throughout this night, we have the main event. We have Tama Tonga versus Tomohiro Ishii, and this match was really good, I thought, just like every other match. I mean, I'm saying that about every match, but that's because they were all just very solid matches. This is just one of those Ishii matches where he makes his opponent look good, he makes him look good. It's just, he's always a solid worker, and everything I've ever seen him in AEW and stuff like that, he always has a certain level that he never dips below. Like, he's always at this point, and it's never going to be worse than that to me. He always hits. These two were just trading big moves. They would just they would trade like these huge spots where he would superplex, they'd sell for a second, he'd get up, then the other one would kick the shit out of him, sell for a second, they'd get up, and then they'd do another, like, and I actually thought that worked for most of it. They did a little bit of chain wrestling. They were doing a little bit of grabs, but yeah, this match worked very well. Just a very solid main event to cap off a very solid night. Yeah, good work from Ishii as usual. And also, I will say, Tama Tonga also looked very good. I thought he looked a lot better than in his previous match, and I think it was more just because Ishii was a much better opponent for him. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Ishii continues to do because he always gets me into his matches every single time. Alright, everybody, that's going to do it for nights 3 and 4 of the G1. You can check out my ratings here on the side. As you can see, just a very solid match outside of that stinky Toru Yano match for the most part. But yeah, this is a very good night as well. A huge highlight in Henare. I think every night we've had a really big highlight match, and it makes it all worth it to me. It makes it all, putting in all these hours to watch and stuff like that, it makes it all worthwhile. So yeah, it makes it all worthwhile as well, so I can make these videos. If you disagree with me on any matches, you think I should check out another match, maybe I might rate it a little bit higher on a second rewatch, just let me know in the comments. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and see you later for nights 5 and 6. Peace.